Welcome to your free English lesson online. Today we're going to look at the meaning of own in English. Recently, students in my classes were confused by the meaning of the word own. They had trouble with this sentence, I want to own my own business. The part that was confusing to them is that the word own is in the sentence twice, once as a verb and once as a type of adjective. In this video, we're going to look at the meaning of the words own. Let's start off with own as a verb. As a verb, own means to legally have something you bought or were given. For example, Paula owns that car. We own this house. I own an iPhone. When you use the verb own, it's different than have because you stress that the object belongs to the person. Also, notice that we talk about things of value and importance when we use the verb own, such as a car or a house or an iPhone. You can use own just like any other verb. For example, the simple present tense, I own a Toyota Corolla, or she owns a Ford Focus. The simple past tense, I owned a Dodge Dart when I was a university student. The present perfect tense, I have owned 3 Toyota Corollas since 2003. And the future with will, such as someday I will own an electric vehicle. It is not typically used with the present continuous verb tense. So we wouldn't say owning. We would say, now I own a Toyota Corolla. Now let's look at own as an adjective. Own as an adjective means belonging to a particular person and no one else. So for example, Julia owns her own restaurant. Let's look at what this means. It means that it belongs to her alone. This is not a partnership. There are no partners. It's not a family business. It is hers. Here's another example. Their school has its own library. Now, when we look at this sentence, to an American who's a native English speaker, this means the library belongs to the school. It's likely in the school. It's for the students at the school, not other people. And students can use this library instead of having to go to the public library. Now, sometimes more than one person will own a business. So they could say something like, my husband and I have our own coffee shop. So this sentence, I want to own my own business. What that means is, I want to have a business that belongs to me and not other people. Let's look at some expressions and idioms with own. People will say, a place of my own. This means an apartment or a house where you live alone, as in what this woman is saying, I finally have a place of my own. People say on my own, meaning they are alone or doing something alone. For example, I sailed to the island on my own. This means that person was the only person on the boat. Or he fixed his car on his own, so he did it himself. She traveled the world on her own, so she was a solo traveler going around the world, not with other people. People will also use own or the phrase own up to. They mean to admit or take responsibility for your actions, feelings, etc. So in this example, we could say Peter owned up to his crimes in court, meaning he admitted committing the crimes. Or in the classic movie, It's a Wonderful Life, we could say Mr. Potter owned his reputation as the meanest man in town, meaning everyone thought he was the meanest man and he didn't have a problem with that. What about you? Is there a word that confuses you? Tell me about it in the comments.